What is up, mortals? It is here. And before we get into today's video, there is something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time. So if you're interested in going into the description and checking it out, each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if this video hits 300 likes by the end of the week, we will continue this what if. Thirdly, if you didn't know, only 40% of you guys are subscribed to us, so please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. Now with that out of the way, let's get back into the story. When we last left off, Deku had found out that Venom was on the verge of giving birth to a new symbiote. All Might had told them about the injuries he had gotten, and that Venom had inadvertently healed him. Then we entered the UA Sports Festival arc, and it was now time for Deku versus Todoroki in the fighting tournament. However, when it was time to fight Todoroki in the quarterfinals, Venom suddenly spawned the new baby symbiote, causing Deku to upchuck it all over the arena, which then led to it bonding to Todoroki, merging with his body and quirk to become the new symbiote and human pair. As the two symbiote combatants get ready for their blood match, Venom snarls at Izuku, "Let me take primary control on this one. We can't let them reach perfect symbiosis," since Venom obviously knew more about symbiotes than him. Izuku let Venom take the wheel while he would help in the background with strategies. Venom and the symbiote-infested Todoroki both rush at each other, locking hands once they meet in the middle. While Venom thought he would have the upper hand against his newly born spawn, he's caught off guard when he feels a furious burning sensation on his hands, like he was being burned off of Izuku. Todoroki is then able to force Venom to his knees, parts of Izuku's partner retracting off his hands and down to his forearms. Then, with Todoroki fueled by the symbiote's primal instinct and his own rage, he starts vigorously headbutting Venom while not caring for his own well-being. This pushes Izuku back, letting Venom reform around his hands. Then, Todoroki's once orange eyes turn crimson as he locks them with his father. Endeavor. He begins to howl like a wild animal as the symbiote floods his head with thoughts of gruesome ways he could kill his father. But before he could even attempt to attack his father, he's tackled to the ground by Venom and starts getting pummeled by his hulking fists. "Listen to me, Todoroki. You gotta fight it," Izuku yells from within Venom, hoping to get through to Todoroki. But what he heard next sent chills down his spine. I don't want to," Todoroki mutters back as he ignites into a blaze of fire, getting Izuku off of him. It appears that the new symbiote was forcing out all of Todoroki's rage and using it to control him, possibly even feeding on it. Midnight and Samantha start talking to see if they should call off the fight since there was clearly something wrong with Todoroki. But both Venom and Izuku yell at them to not. "He's got this. Don't you remember what you said before all of this? How you were going to destroy us?" Izuku yells at Todoroki, getting his attention once again. Then Todoroki gets on all fours and starts sprinting at Venom like a feral animal, while leaping at Izuku. His hands become claw-like as he goes to slash at Izuku. Venom, trying to play it smart, binds up Todoroki by creating tendrils and wrapping them around him. But the bindings don't last long as they start to burn and dissolve as soon as they make contact with Todoroki's skin, just like when they locked arms earlier. "How does he keep doing that?" Venom yells within Izuku's head, giving his partner an idea. He thought it could have been a result of Todoroki's base quirk. It could have possibly affected the new symbiote in some way. While it did make sense to Venom, he built off that theory more. The new symbiote felt off to him like it was incompletely. It might have been either born prematurely while also being able to handle Todoroki's quirk gene. With both of them coming to that conclusion, both of them knew what needed to be done. "You gotta trust me on this one, partner. Let me take control." With Deku taking control, he turns into his more agile and small form while taking a fight stance close to the ground. "Listen to me to do," Izuku tries to say before Todoroki rushes at him, his arms stretched out and only fueled by rage. Knowing he wouldn't be able to get through to Todoroki in his current state, Deku is forced to jump over the attack. Then, while going on the offensive, he shoots webs into the ground while using them to slam his feet into Todoroki's back. The strike almost knocks him out of the arena, but he barely stops himself by slamming his claws into the ground. "I'm going to win this. Then I'll expose that monster for everything he's ever done." Todoroki roars as he starts throwing fireballs at Izuku, which he narrowly dodges. But then both him and Venom notice something that could possibly let Izuku get through to Todoroki on the inside. "Look at yourself. You said you would never use your left side, but that's all you've used." Todoroki just stands there staring at Izuku blindly, his body visibly shaking as he looks down at his hands to see them as massive bear-like claws. He begins crying out, No, I'm not using his damn fire quirk. Then, while trying to fight the dark and twisted influence of the symbiote, he starts trying to rip off parts of the suit to no avail. They could regenerate faster than he could tear off, but something sparked within Deku. A form of anger he had never felt before. With Izuku going back to his monstrous hulking form, he yells back at Todoroki, "It's your quirk, not his." That remark hits Todoroki harder than any previous attack as he gets a flashback to a time when he was carefree, sitting watching TV with his mother, then recalling watching a program about parents passing on quirks and how it was up to the children on how they were going to use them, with that positive memory pushing past all the hate and anger in Todoroki's head. The symbiote starts getting reduced to ash as he ignites into an inferno, using his other side to generate ice so he could keep burning it. As the last bit of the symbiote is burned off of Todoroki, he collapses onto the ground from exhaustion and from the suit over draining his body, winning the match for Izuku. While it didn't feel like a proper win to Izuku, or even Venom, they still took while helping to bring Todoroki to the infirmary, but unannounced to the both of them. A small remnant of the baby symbiote, created when Todoroki started tearing the suit off of himself, sneaks its way onto Izuku, since it was created by Venom. Neither of them could sense it. Izuku was somewhat shaken up by the thought of killing a baby symbiote, being that he's never killed anyone before, but Venom tries to reassure his partner that it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't uncommon for symbiotes to just dump their spawn anywhere and just leave them to fend for themselves. While dark, it was the sad truth of the symbiote race. Now we can move on to the semi-finals of the fighting tournament, which are Takoyami vs. Bakugo, Izuku vs. Ida. Before we get back into the story, I would like to say that we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes over the hard facts of the anime presented. Now, in case you guys didn't know, we have a third channel called Anime Theory. Anime Theory mainly focuses on a large variety of mind-boggling anime theories. If you are interested in content like this, please go check the description below or click the eye icon in the top right corner. Now, with that out of the way, let's get back into the story, starting with Takoyami vs. Bakugo. It plays out mostly the same as in canon. The only significant change is that Bakugo is significantly more angry and violent. His sudden mood change from attributed being caught off guard by Uraraka's surprise attack a few fights ago, and then he would finally be able to get revenge on Deku for what he had done during the first hero training they did. But unlike in regular canon, Bakugo would force Takoyami to surrender, instead blasting him out of the arena with explosions fueled by his desire to beat Deku in the finals. Now, on to Izuku vs. Ida. The match starts with both contestants walking out onto the field greeting each other with high spirits. Ida unaware on what just happened to his brother Tensei. With the match starting, Ida straight away sprinting around Izuku. Mask, Izuku yells out with Venom covering him, turning him into their more limber and agile form. As if it was perfectly timed, Izuku leaps into the air to avoid a sidekick to the back from Ida. But it seems that what he wanted, because as Izuku gets into the air, Ida also jumps up while axe-kicking him back down into the ground. Then, while still in the air, Ida yells out, "Recipro burst!" With his engines burning blue, he goes slamming down into Izuku with a strong swiping turning kick. But there was something he didn't account for. As he makes contact with Izuku's back suit, he begins to hulk out while its biomass starts to wrap around him, eventually covering him completely. Ida couldn't break free of his bindings since his engines were shot out at this point, meaning Izuku had won the match, while Venom thought it was a cheap tactic, preferring to actually fight it out properly instead of relying on a trap like that. Then, with the finals close upon them, Venom and Izuku would be in one of the waiting rooms having a quick snack to refuel on energy when Bakugo comes crashing in mistakenly. Oh crap, this waiting room number 2. Bakugo just yells as he watches Izuku stuffing his face with chocolate and other sweets. Although disgusted and feeling really awkward, Bakugo takes a seat across from him and asks a simple question: "What the hell is going on with your quirk?" While not being able to answer due to eating, Izuku just shrugs, not having a proper answer to give him. Then Bakugo starts listing some things out. 1. He was really late bloomer. 2. His quirk was radically different from any of his parents. 3. The quirk itself is also far more complicated and intricate than other quirks in the class or he had ever seen. Bakugo lists several more. But you get the point. He was starting to suspect something, his suspicions only getting worse after seeing what happened to Todoroki. The two rivals just stare at each other, a strong tension filling the room, Izuku not wanting to divulge his secret to Venom to anyone else, especially Bakugo. "Fine, if you're not going to tell me, then listen well. Your match with Ice Hot was sloppy. You cared more about getting that goop off of him, but your match with me will be far different, Bakugo announces loudly as he goes to leave. But Izuku stops him by standing up while whipping his mouth and yelling back, "This won't be like our training. We'll be going all out straight away," without even realizing it. Izuku lets slip something he shouldn't have. Bakugo just turns around confused and looks at him, only getting back a determined look by Izuku. Strange black tendrils crawling up his neck to his face in the process. Venom also feels the same. Bakugo just shuffles off while muttering something like, "Yeah, whatever." Izuku and Venom stay in the room for a bit longer, eating even more food before going out to the arena, with massive pillars of flames shooting out from the corners of the arena. Present Mike. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now there is a few more things that I'd like to go over before the video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the editor for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video. So thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you liked the video. Until next time, peace out mortals, have an amazing day.